Infamous for his role in the event of World War II, Hitler was well known as the big bad guy in our history. At the end of the war, no one had ever found his corpse, leaving a mystery about his fate. But what if Hitler didn't end his life at the end of the war just like everyone thought? What if he was teleported in time and finds himself now in modern-day Germany? On one fine day in 21st century Germany, Hitler finds himself lying on the ground with birds chirping around him. When he opens his eyes, he notices that everything around him is different from the war zone he used to know. Hitler wakes up and finds 3 young boys playing ball nearby. He then asks them if they know where his military staff is. The boys look confused and say they don't know what Hitler is talking about and leave. Unsure of the situation he is in right now, Hitler decides to go back to his supposed hideout known as the Führer bunker. On the way, Hitler is left in awe by the strange mono-wheel technology people use on the street. Soon after, when Hitler arrives at a crowded spot, he is confused by how people around him behave. He notices that the rubbles from war aren't there anymore, cars that don't look like what he used to know, and many other things that are strange to him. At first, Hitler thought that maybe he went comatose and missed the German victory because of the new cheerful atmosphere that wasn't familiar to him. Out of confusion, Hitler asks nearby people where the direction to his old office is, but people can't stop asking him for pictures here and there. With all these people surrounding him without respect and making fun of him, Hitler feels disturbed and tries to escape the crowds. Hitler thought that something terrible must have happened to the world, which made the situation out of hand. Then, when Hitler sees a mother and her baby, he approaches them and asks about the current date and year. However, the mother feels threatened by Hitler's weird behavior and sprays him with pepper spray. While in pain, Hitler goes to the nearest newspaper stand to check the date on the newspaper. But when he sees the year 2014 printed in the newspaper, he immediately falls unconscious. Somewhere on a TV station, a man named Christoph is being praised by his boss for his excellent performance as the deputy head department. Expecting that the boss will announce his promotion today, Christoph is left speechless when the boss reveals Bellini, his co-worker, as the new managing director instead of him. Feeling disappointed, Christoph vents his anger at a young reporter named Fabian. Christoph decides to fire Fabian and throw him out of the building. Sometime later, Hitler wakes up at the newspaper shop and asks the owner of what date and the year it is. The shopkeeper confirms it is 2014, but Hitler isn't convinced yet. He thought that this might be a scheme of his enemy to kidnap him and plans to kill the shopkeeper. However, the shopkeeper suddenly gives Hitler a chocolate bar to show his good intention. The shopkeeper then asks if Hitler is an actor shooting a documentary or movie nearby because he looks similar to the real Hitler. Hitler responds that he is the real Hitler, but the shopkeeper doesn't believe that. After that, Hitler gathers more information from the newspapers around the shop. He learns about things that happened since Germany lost the war and is amused by the fact that people thought he was dead. Hitler notices that he has become a product of pop culture entertainment as a lot of people are impersonating him. Knowing that a not charismatic leader now leads Germany, he further criticizes the state of Germany's politics, which he deemed incompetent and chaotic. Not just that, Hitler also learns that industrialization after the war results in natural calamities worldwide and many other things. Meanwhile, Fabian, who happened to be recording the young boys that Hitler met earlier today, notices that he accidentally recorded a person that looked like Hitler on his camera. The next day, the shopkeeper asks Hitler to help him set up his shop and then tells Hitler to get his uniform to a laundry. Hitler then goes to a nearby laundry to clean his uniform. As he doesn't have other clothes, he borrows some modern clothing from the laundry and takes a stroll in modern Germany. When he returns to the shop, he sees Fabian waiting for him. As soon as they meet, Hitler's appearance and similarity to the historical Hitler amazes Fabian. After that, Fabian offers Hitler to film a documentary with the idea of Hitler marching through modern Germany. Hitler agrees to the concept and then embarks on a journey with Fabian. On their journey, Hitler notices that the TV of modern Germany has nothing but nonsense. He is disappointed that such good propaganda media is being wasted like this. He then has an idea of discussing politics in his documentary with Fabian. After that, he goes all around Germany, discussing politics and current issues with the people he meets. Hitler notices a similarity between modern-day people and people of his time, as both are discontent, have suppressed anger, and resent the idea of non-German living in their land. On one occasion, Hitler and Fabian are visiting a dog farm. However, one of the dogs bites Hitler's hand and forces Hitler to shoot that dog. After that accident, Fabian expresses his anger toward Hitler's action and takes away Hitler's gun. After they argue a bit, they return to good terms. As their journey continues, Fabian's cash has nearly depleted. Hitler then comes up with the idea of painting people on the street to earn money. Surprisingly, many people love Hitler's sarcastic painting of them and find it amusing. After that, they now have enough funds to continue their journey and meet many more people. At the end of the journey, Hitler had amassed public attention and became trending on the internet. Fabian then returns to his old workplace to meet Christoph and shows him that his journey with Hitler is now trending on the internet. Christoph is quite impressed with the attention that Fabian amassed, But when he sees Hitler in person, he refuses to work with him because he thinks that Hitler is just another crazy person. But suddenly, Hitler enters the meeting room where director Bellini is in and successfully captivates the whole room. Convinced by Hitler's performance, Bellini decides to put Hitler on their TV show. Christoph isn't keen on that idea but agrees to it nevertheless. On the other hand, Fabian asks Christoph to be put back to work and threatens to take Hitler away with him if he doesn't get the job at that TV station. Christoph then gives Fabian a job as an office boy and promises to promote him later when there is an open position on the editorial team. Sometime later, Hitler is assigned to his table at the office and meets with a girl named Kromier. Christoph asks Kromier to teach Hitler how to use a computer. Upon knowing about the modern computer, Hitler recalls it as the greatest invention and admires how technology has come a long way from what he used to know. He is left in awe as he learns how easy it is to get information on the internet. Meanwhile, Christoph decides to put Hitler on a comedy show called Whoa Dude, and intends to make Hitler speak some racist jokes to get Bellini and Hitler in trouble. When the show starts, the host calls Hitler to the stage and introduces him to the audience. When Hitler appears, the audience is left in silence as some mutter under their breath, gossiping about tonight's guest. Hitler then stood in silence, staring at the audience as they gazed back at him. After an awkward silence for quite some time, Hitler broke it by saying that the TV told him to say a racist joke in front of the camera, but he will not say it. The sudden declaration left both the audience and the TV crew confused. Hitler then explains that TV is a great invention, but the media mistreat it to feed people nonsense and useless stuff. After that, Hitler continues to discuss social and political issues that pester modern Germany. He mentions the subjects of poverty, unemployment, low birth rate, and all that will lead the people of Germany into the abyss. He also states that people couldn't see it coming because all the nonsense that TV shows them daily has blinded them from the truth of what is coming. After his speech, the audience claps their hand for Hitler, which boosts his popularity even more. Seeing this, Bellini is happy and decides to put Hitler on all of their TV shows, while Christoph and the host are envious of Hitler's tonight's success. Since then, Hitler has become even more popular and appeared on various shows. Hitler even openly expresses his motive to make Germany great again in TV shows, making him more and more likable to the public. On some occasions, Hitler meets various political movements and party leaders in Germany to share their vision with him. He manages to charm more people into his side, amassing many supporters all over Germany. One day, Hitler goes to the NPD office to see what has become of the so-called successor of his former party. When Hitler sees the state of the current NPD, he expresses his disappointment in the lack of progress they had made all these years and mocked the incompetent chairman for not being worthy. Meanwhile, on the TV station, Christoph secretly reported his own company to the authorities, accusing them of violating the hate law. When the district attorney comes with the police, Christoph expects to see Bellini getting into trouble and aborting Hitler's shows. However, the district attorney loves what Hitler does on the TV and dismisses the complaint as a mere political joke. Christoph's scheme has failed again, but when Kromier asks him what to do with the payment for the dog that Hitler shot back then, Christoph decides to use it for his plan. One night, Hitler is in a TV interview as he usually does. The host casually asks whether Hitler is a comedian or not. Hitler answers that he is not disturbed by the fact that some people view him as a fool, but with that, people will be willing to listen to him. Hitler then expresses how he wants to convey his messages to everyone even though he has to get into the funny role. However, the host of the show then says that some of Hitler's actions aren't funny nor ethical and decides to show a clip of Hitler shooting a dog. This clip results in public disappointment in Hitler and causes Hitler to rage in front of the camera while Christoph is happy with the result. The following day, Bellini loses her job, and Christoph now gets the position he wants. While Hitler and Fabian now live together in Fabian's house after losing the public's favor. During these trying times, Hitler wrote his second book, becoming a best-selling book in 3 months with the help of Fabian and Bellini. Slowly, Hitler regains his public image and popularity by doing many good deeds and publicly apologizing for his mistake. Meanwhile, Christoph's TV station is now succumbing to losses since they lost Hitler on their shows. Amidst their meeting, Christoph believes that Whoa Dude shows will bring them back to their feet, but unbeknownst to him, the show's host has quit his job. Christoph is then enraged by this and vents his anger to all of his staff, but one employee suggests bringing Hitler back to their TV might help them profit. Upon hearing it, he approves of that idea and decides to get Hitler back. Soon after, Christoph meets Fabian while he directs the film adaptation of Hitler's second book. There, Christoph proposes to invest large sums of money for the production if they get the right to show the film on their TV. Fabian agrees to that offer and seals the deal with Christoph as their investor. Soon after, Fabian and Hitler decide to visit Kromier's house for dinner. However, when Kromier's grandmother sees Hitler, she recognizes him as the real Hitler and forces him to leave his house as her family was the victim of Hitler's genocide. On their way back, Hitler expresses his racist views toward Kromier ethnicity and calls them less human. Fabian is disappointed with Hitler's behavior but decides to keep it to himself at the moment. Back at the stage, Fabian asks what happened before Hitler woke up at the spot where he accidentally filmed him, but Hitler couldn't answer it as he can't remember. Later at night, Hitler decides to leave the set for fresh air and is suddenly beaten by unknown people that blame him for Germany's past failure. When Hitler wakes up, he finds himself hospitalized with Bellini on his side. Bellini tells Hitler that many more people sympathized with what happened to him. Even the Vice-Chancellor of Germany wrote to him, wishing for his recovery. Meanwhile, Fabian is at home, reviewing the first clip of Hitler he got. Soon after, he discovers that Hitler did appear out of nowhere at that time. Fabian then goes out to the spot where Hitler appeared and finds out that was the spot of Führer bunker, the last place where Hitler disappeared back at the end of the war. Realizing that it is the real Hitler all along, Fabian rushes to the hospital and finds that Hitler has left his room. In a panic, Fabian tries to explain that he is the real Hitler all along to Bellini. But, because Fabian is acting like a lunatic, the hospital's guards show up and try to catch him. Fabian tries to escape from the guards in a desperate attempt to stop Hitler. Sometime later, Fabian encounters Hitler on the street with his supporters. As the two of them meet, Fabian expresses his anger toward Hitler as now he knows the real identity of his companion. Hitler then states that he is being honest to Fabian from the beginning and never lies to him. Fabian then aims the gun that he took away from Hitler back then and forces Hitler to follow him to a rooftop of a skyscraper. Inside the elevator, Fabian blames Hitler for fooling the public with his propaganda and scheming for his agenda. Hitler responds that the people elected him to lead them to glory because, deep inside, they all share the same value. Suddenly, Fabian pulls the trigger and shoots Hitler, making him fall from the building. However, even after falling down, Hitler reappears behind Fabian and says nobody can kill him as he is a part of all the German people. After that, the skies dissolve back to green screen, revealing that they have been in a film studio all along as Bellini shouts, "Cut." It is also revealed that Fabian, who shot Hitler earlier, was a random actor and not the real Fabian. After that, all the crew expresses their happiness after shooting the last scene for Hitler's film. While everyone celebrates their success, Hitler says they should remember the comrade who couldn't be there with them. It turns out the real Fabian was actually caught by the guards and couldn't leave the hospital after he frantically told Bellini about his discovery of Hitler's identity. With that, the crazed Fabian is now locked away in a mental asylum somewhere else, with no one believing his warning. At the end of the story, Hitler and Bellini become the new public sensation, with reporters crowding all over them. As Hitler drives through the street of Germany, he plans his next move to conquer Germany and the world again. A charismatic leader can easily sway many people to his side, even though people don't know the true purpose of said leader yet. This story shows how easily politicians can manipulate modern people and the danger of trusting false leaders, which can lead people to doom. What would you do if Hitler appeared in our world again? Write your opinion in the comment section below. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.